Race fans, it's about that time of year where the Formula One season is about to get very interesting because we are about to head into the last doubleheader before the summer break. The month-long summer break, I should add. You got the French Grand Prix this week and the Hungarian Grand Prix next weekend. It's going to be very exciting for these next 2 weekends because it can very well determine your champ for the 2022 season. And today I am here to talk about my predictions for the French Grand Prix, but also some scenarios that could decide some points battles on track for the near future. So kick back and relax and enjoy, but let's get started.
I'm Chase Briscoe, driver number 14 Ford Mustang for Stewart Haas Racing, and you're watching William Blackwell on YouTube.
I am just going to go right into my predictions. I am going to talk about a couple of things first. The Mercedes cars were very quick in Silverstone. But you go to Austria the following weekend and they're really not that competitive as they were the week prior. This time around, I believe they will be very competitive and I think they will be contending for the win. And saying that, I think Lewis Hamilton will get his first win of the 2022 Formula One season out in the French Grand Prix. A lot of people saw this coming. He should have won Spain. He had the quickest car on track that entire race. If he did not break that front wing on the opening lap of Kevin Magnussen, he would have won that race. Silverstone, if that safety car for Esteban Ocon did not come out at the end, Hamilton would have more than likely chased down Sainz and then Leclerc and won the race. I think his time is coming, and it will be this Sunday at the French Grand Prix. So, Lewis Hamilton getting another win to his career record. It's going to be very exciting to see if this were to happen. Now going into second place, I believe it will be Charles Leclerc from Ferrari. Ferrari the last couple of weeks, or months more like, has been a struggle. But out in Austria and Great Britain, or Silverstone if you will, were two big relievers because it did manage to keep them still in contention for the Constructors' Championship and the Drivers' Championship. And I honestly believe the Constructors are going to go to Red Bull this year. They're just so darn quick on track. But Ferrari, they can still go for the Driver Championship. They got two drivers. Charles Leclerc, who has 3 wins this season, Bahrain, Australia, and now Austria. And then Carlos Sainz won at Great Britain. So they're not out of it necessarily. But if these next 2 weeks go very bad for both drivers, Ferrari may just ease up the development and put all their attention for 2023. Because remember, at the beginning of the year, when all the success was coming towards the Scuderia Ferrari, Mattia Binotto did not hold back and say that a championship was not their target for 2022. Because their target overall was to be up front, contending for the win week in and week out. And he said it was not a good goal to change in the middle of the season. And I kind of respect that. And I believe if they stop right now in their development and if things get worse, they're going to pay all their attention to next year. And the goal next year will be winning a Drivers' Championship and also a Constructors' Championship. So these next 2 weeks are very crucial. But more than likely, I think the Red Bulls are going to struggle here in France. And I believe it's going to open up the door for a very exciting title fight for the second half of the Formula One season. But Charles Leclerc will finish second, and nothing big is going to happen for Ferrari as they look into 2023 for the time being. Third place, however, will be Max Verstappen. Max Verstappen this year is having a great year. Not as great as 2021, however, but he's still having a great year. I really like what Red Bull is doing, and I believe they're going to be a force to reckon with here, not this weekend at France, but will be in Hungary, and that's going to be a scary sight to see. They might lead every single lap of that race. Very well. Max Verstappen will come home on the podium, but not on top in the winner's spot as he was hoping for, or Red Bull in general. It's going to be a difficult weekend, I expect, for that team. But coming home in 4th place will be Mercedes driver George Russell. George Russell this year has been very consistent. In years past, from 2020 to 2021, he is named Mr. Saturday. And quite frankly, James Allison did not like that term. He is the engineer for George Russell, and he gave him the name of Mr. Consistency, and that is very true. This year, he started out the season all the way to Great Britain in a top 5 streak. And he got it back in Austria, so he did not slow down and lose confidence. He is all right. I believe George Russell is going to be a factor this Sunday. He might not win it, but I believe he'll be up there contending for a podium spot. And how cool would it see the Mercedes cars, both of them on the podium? That has yet to happen in 2022, but this weekend could possibly be it. Because if they do not win here, let's be honest here, Hungary is going to be a very big disaster. And they go out to Spa after that summer break. It's not looking good for them neither there. The porpoising, I'm afraid, will be an issue. And then they go to Monza, Singapore. It's starting to get worse as the season progresses. And this is going to probably be their last chance of contending for a win until at least Brazil. And so Mercedes, they got to do good here this weekend if they want to get a win. I know they're bringing some big upgrades, but it's a lot of hearsay on how the upgrades will change the car for the better, because you can't believe what everybody says. They just wanting to say what they want to have, and so don't believe none of the rumors. George Russell, P4. P5, however, will be Sergio Perez for Red Bull Racing. Not going to be a good weekend for him, as he's still hoping to go for the driver championship, and if this result were to happen, I am sure Max Verstappen will be their number 1 driver, and Sergio Perez will be the man delivering the tow in qualifying, which is always a discussion to have. A lot of teams like to rotate it week in and week out, but Verstappen has to get the most out of his equipment, and I can believe very well he can win the championship before Abu Dhabi. But there you go. There is my top 5. Lewis Hamilton winning. Charles Leclerc will finish 2nd. 3rd will be Max Verstappen. 4th will be George Russell. And 5th place will be young Sergio Perez. One driver I did not mention at all was Carlos Sainz. I do not think he will DNF this weekend here out in the French Grand Prix. I think he will be very competitive this weekend, but the Mercedes are just going to be competitive, so it's going to mean the top 6 cars are going to be very quick, and I believe Sainz is going to struggle out of the 5 or 6 of them. So P6 for Carlos Sainz. A little bad, but sort of a great rebound from the DNF out in Austria. But my dark horse here for this weekend will be Mick Schumacher. Mick Schumacher picked up his first career points out in Great Britain and carried over to the following weekend in Austria and got another solid point earning day there. Is he going to win? Hell no. But could he get a podium? Maybe, with a couple of safety cars. So keep an eye out on that. But everybody, though, remember to please like and subscribe.